Hello, welcome to the Van Sales training from FigJam Mobile. Broadway here taking the training. So the Van Sales app is available on Play Store. It will be written Van Sales SFA. Once you have downloaded the Van Sales app, you will have a username and password to log in. You then input that to log in, then log in to log in. The app will start logging. So it will sync your products, your customers, your vans, various configs. So it takes a couple of seconds to sync depending on your internet speed. Once it is synced, to ask you to switch on your location, it will then log the app. So on the app, I'll just quickly explain what is what. So at the top here, we have a reference for the cycle, status of the cycle, credit balance, and total number of customers assigned. Last time there was a sync, the app status. Then at the top here, there's these three lines which will give us this menu. So you could view stock movement, view cash movement, print a load, print and unload, print a cash up, view a settlement report, print the settlement report. Then these three lines or this hamburger menu icon, if I click that, it will give me this main menu. So from the bottom, there's log out of the app. There's print to print from the app. So it does support printing of small Bluetooth receipts or printing of those settlement reports. Upload invoices, for uploading any invoices done while the app was offline. So the app does support offline functionality, so you'll be able to go do some invoices upper country. When you get where the signal, upload the invoices. System tab to for various system configs like adjusting font size, updating the latest version, sending log files, etc. Then profile, it will show a profile of who's logged on to the profile on the app. So your company, your name, email address, phone number, which branch you're logged into, etc. Notes, it will show notes captured on the app. Then transaction summary, it will show you history of the transactions done on the app. So all the invoices will appear here. You got an option to filter from a particular date to a particular date. You can also filter by a particular customer. So you could just view transactions done for a particular customer. To open the transaction, you simply click it, then you can see the invoice you did for that transaction. So that was on the transaction. Then intraday load. So as you sell, you can also top up stock. So that's the feature for that. So during the day, maybe you need a stock top up, you can come back and top up stock. Add customer. So the guys could actually go on a new route where you don't have any customers, and they'll be able to prospect. Add the customers on the go. So you'll be able to get the customer details, city, province, suburb. Then they'll be able to add them to a particular route. Do things such as mention if it's a COD customer, mini credit or full credit customer. Add them to specific customer groups. Then dashboard. This is where you find the main dashboard for the app. So there's start cycle, targets, unload, cash up. So targets, you can set targets in the app. Unload is unloading stock when you're back from the trade. Cash up is cashing up the cash from the trade. Starter cycle, this is where it all starts. So what does this starter cycle mean? Starter cycle simply means the whole 4 steps of loading stock, going to sell, coming back to unload and cash up. So that's what we call a cycle in our app. Start a cycle, you simply tap start a cycle. So there are 2 ways of loading the stock. You can either load it on the back and the van salesman will get the stock, or you could load it from the app. So the van salesman could come, select the products they want to load. Then they choose finalize. So it will take them to this page. First stage was to select the products. Second stage is to put the quantities that I'm loading. So you have 3 columns. The first column is for the actual product code description. It will show what has been loaded. So I can use the plus or minus sign, or I can manually input the quantities, then finalize. Then there's an option for someone to sign. So this could be your security guard or warehouse supervisor, whoever was dispatching the stock. So they can sign, CB. Then the sales rep, I can sign, submit. Then there's also someone to authorize. So without this, it won't load the stock. So someone will have to authorize. So all the signatures and who authorize will appear on the back end. So these are the controls so that you can go back and say who authorized this, who signed for this. Once we have been loaded, it will unlock routes and unload. So routes is the customer list of the customer we're going to visit. So fast groceries, for example, that's how you get into the customer. Clock in to signify that I've arrived at the customer. So we'll pick the geotag of where I've checked in. We'll start tracking the amount of time I'm here. We can also input what's called a geofence, where if I'm not there, I'm not able to check in. Then to invoice, I simply tap the invoice tile, tap the plus sign. It will show me the products. I've got an option to search for a particular product to narrow down the listing. So if I search, you see, it will just give me these two lines. To order, you simply tap inside the box, put the quantities, the app will calculate the price. So that's how you invoice. Tap next. It will then give you the final page showing the products ordered, the total. Then there's an option to highlight if it's cash, USD, Fcash, or ZW. So let's say I got cash USD 80. The app will then say the subtotal is this, the text component, total. Then the change is $5 something. Again, the customer can sign, salesperson can sign, submit. Then we've done the invoice. So this is real time. This will then hit the office. They'll get a notification saying this is the invoice that has happened. You could also check on the report. You could see on a live dashboard or on an email schedule sales that have happened. Then you can do a credit note to cancel the whole transaction. You can print the actual invoice. You can do a manual invoice. So a manual invoice, it will take a picture of that manual invoice you've written and attach it to that transaction. Notes, so I can take notes on the ground. So maybe there was a customer complaint. So this is real time. Someone will get a notification once this is submitted. So that's notes there. Then check out signify that I'm leaving the place. So that's how you invoice. Then if it's a credit customer, it will have the payments and view ledger. So let's say you got customers given consignment. So the guys will be able to go back and invoice. So as you're selling, it also draws down here to zero. So this becomes a mini warehouse on its own. So I can't sell these two lines because they've been finished. So once the stock is finished, I have to come back to the office. So you can't sell more than what you have. So this is a credit customer. Because it's a credit customer, it doesn't ask you for a payment. If it's mini credit, it will ask, do you want to pay now or later? Submit. So once I've submitted the invoice, there will be a ledger here to show that I did the invoice for this date, this is the reference, this is the amount, payment 0. So as a rep, I'll be able to come back and check on the ledger and notice that I haven't received the payment. To receive a payment, I just tap the payments tab, then put the amount that I'm collecting, then get someone to sign, submit. Then if I come back to the ledger, it will show now that I received a payment of 100. So on the reports now, on the back end, we'll be able now to show the actual balance for that particular customer account. Then I'm done selling the trade. I come back to do an unload. So on the unload page, it will show what has been sold, what's being unloaded. So if I don't have anything left, I can say populate quantities, it will move everything to there. If I want to carry over stock, if I leave some units here, I've left 15 here. If I tap finalize, it will ask me if I want to carry over. If I say yes, then I'll be able to populate what I want to carry over. Then if I've got 15 left, if I tap finalize, if I say no because I don't have any stock left, that becomes a short or a variance. I have to give a reason why there's a variance. So there's also some variance checking there. The system will pick it up when there's a variance, discrepancy or shortage. Then I have to give a reason, submit, again, someone will sign, authorize. Without this pin, it doesn't unload. After the unload, next thing I go to accounts office. I have to then put the amount that I brought back from the trade. So again, if it's less or more, it will ask for a variance reason. So the checker will sign, salesperson will sign. Finalize. Again, the person in accounts will pick their name and authorize. So these controls are there so that tomorrow no one says it wasn't me, or every pin is unique to the authorizer. They'll be given their secret pins. So that is the app in action. Thank you.